Hello everyone, welcome to Options with Doug, streaming live daily on Bookmap Discord and the Bookmap YouTube channel at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Before I get started, I need to go through the disclosures. General disclosure: all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and options involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Let me pause for a moment for a public service announcement. This is for Bookmap Discord. Bookmap is asking all Discord users to fill out a form. You can scan this with your phone and fill out the form. I think it requires your email address, your Discord name, and your Bookmap license key. If you're not a Bookmap subscriber, you can subscribe to the free version, which includes access to crypto as well as delayed stock and futures data. All right, so this will provide you with some great benefits, exclusive webinars, services, beta programs, add-ons, other freebies, and it will make Bookmap Discord a better place for everyone who is participating in Bookmap Discord. All right, here's my contact information. The best way to get in touch with me is through Discord. My name on Discord is Doug P. Also in Bookmap Discord, there's an Options-Doug chat channel. That's a great place to post questions, comments, and content related to the topics of my presentation and the topics of the channel that I'll go through in just a moment. And note that Bookmap Discord, there's a wide variety of content there on a wide variety of asset classes, stocks, options, futures, and crypto, and also on a wide variety of languages. And a great group of traders all working together to help each other become better traders. I'm also on X, formerly known as Twitter. My name there is @DougPless. And hello, Stephen. Welcome. Glad you're here. And hello, Trading Price and Time. Welcome. Glad you're here as well. And thank you for your kind words. All right, here are my key tenets for trading. I believe that options trades and market maker hedging activity are key drivers of price in many stocks and futures. And there's plenty of evidence for that today. That doesn't happen all day, every day, but definitely in play for today. And for the S&P 500, SPX is the underlying index, and SPY is just another version of SPX. And ES is a derivative of SPX. So when I'm trading ES, I'm focusing on the levels and options trades in SPX and SPY to help drive my, as well as order flow in ES, to help drive my trading decisions. And for the Nasdaq 100, NDX is the underlying index. QQQ is the ETF version. It is actually the more liquid version. So for NQ, QQQ is really the underlying index that I focus on. And again, NQ is a derivative of NDX. And when traders, let's say for the S&P 500, when traders buy and sell puts and calls in SPX and SPY, market makers hedge those positions with ES futures. The focus of my presentation today and the focus of the Options-Doug chat channel is options order flow, the impact of options markets on stocks and futures, and the influence of market maker hedging flow on price action. I have a two-step process for trading, and the first is planning, and I use positional analysis. I look at how traders and market makers are positioned in the options market and how those positions change from day to day to develop a thesis regarding the expected trading range and volatility for the day, as well as a directional bias. And the second step of my process is execution. I look at real-time order flow in Bookmap and real-time market maker hedging flow in Spotgamma Hero to confirm my thesis and for setups for entries and exits. And when I talk about setups today, I will be focusing on an underlying asset. For example, the S&P 500 setups can be taken with ES futures, SPY shares, SPY options, SPX options, or even ES options. And Stephen, can you help Chin Tan maybe direct him to the location of the webinar? That'd be great. Thank you. All right, questions and comments are welcome. And I will be watching both the chat in the Options-Jug chat channel, as well as the chat on YouTube for your questions and comments. Please feel free to post, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. All right, here's my agenda for today, Friday, February 9th. First of all, I want to go over news items, economic data for today. Then I'll go through my positional analysis. Then I'll review some setups from earlier today, and there were some great setups. Then I'll take a look at the live market. When I get to the live market, if anyone has any stocks they want me to take a look at, please let me know, and I'll be glad to do that. All right, let's get started. First of all, economic data for today. And I'm not sure this was a, give me just a moment, I didn't bring that over to this screen. I don't know if this was scheduled or not, but let's take a look at this. The CPI data for December was revised from 0.3% to 0.2%, and that caused quite a move in the market. We'll take a look at that. And that was the only data for today. So far it's been a pretty light week as far as data goes. All right, let's go to the market now. I'm going to go back to the S&P 500 futures. This is the ES futures in Bookmap. And this is the reaction to that data release. It came in a little bit after 8:30, a couple of minutes later. And a very bullish reaction, a reversal right at the SPY 501 level. Also this SPX 5023 level that was noted as resistance in the Spotgamma AM Founders Note. So far today, that level has been the upper end of the range. Before I take a closer look at this chart, I do want to step back and look at a larger time frame. So I'm going to move on to positional analysis now. I'm going to start with the S&P 500 SPX index. Again, that's the underlying index for the S&P 500. This current rally began October 30th last year and really has continued with some minor consolidation. And toward the end of the year, found resistance at 4,800. So I'm going to focus on these key big round number levels and how they progressed higher. All right, so resistance at the 4,800 level at the end of the year and also the start of this year. And then on expiration Friday, January expiration, January 19th, SPX broke out above that 4,800 level. All right, now this rally is so far has gone on over 900 points. Well, it's not showing that now, but it's gone over 900 points from 4,100 to over 5,000. All right, let's take a look at a shorter time frame so we can pick up the top part of that chart. So here's the breakout on January 19th above 4,800, resistance at 4,900, a breakout on Monday, January 25th, then a reversal back lower after the FOMC announcement and especially the press conference, then rally again up above 49.50 all the way to about 49.70, and now the SPX is trading above 5,000. So again, I'm focusing on the moves higher in the key round number levels, 4,800, 4,900, now above 5,000. And note for today, the call wall did move up from 5,000 to 5,050. So a little bit of room to run higher for SPX. All right, let's take a look at the levels on this chart. I'm going to zoom in just a bit so we can look closer. So first of all, the dashed purple lines are showing the lower and upper weekly expected move. This is based on the options market. I update this once a week. I've been posting these numbers in Discord every day. So this is updated once a week. And those levels remain in place for the entire week. Then the dashed blue lines are showing the lower and upper daily expected move. Also based on the options market, I update that once a day, posted it in Discord the evening before. And note the upper daily expected move is right at the same level as the upper weekly expected move. So you really can't see that dashed blue line, but it is there under the purple line. All right, so those are the expected moves based on the options market. And now the other lines on this chart are showing Spotgamma levels. And these are levels that are provided to Spotgamma subscribers. They're based on gamma weighted open interest. They're updated every day. They do shift a little bit every day. So that's why I follow these levels. All right, I'm going to point out the key daily levels. First of all, here's the put wall, now up at 4,800. That's a strike with the largest net negative gamma that can be expected to act as support. And again, that level did move up from 4,500 yesterday to 4,800 today. All right, the next level up is the volatility trigger. That's at 49.45. That is Spotgamma's proprietary gamma volatility flip level. Below that level, market makers' position on the gamma curve is negative. In a negative gamma environment, they have to trade with price to hedge their delta exposure, and that tends to enhance or increase volatility when market makers are trading in the direction of price. On the other hand, above that level, in a positive gamma environment, market makers have to trade against price to hedge their delta exposure, and that tends to subdue or decrease volatility. And note that SPX is trading well above that level now. Then the next level up is 5,000. That's right here. And 5,000 is the absolute gamma strike. That's a strike with the largest absolute negative and positive gamma, and that's where most of the gamma weighted open interest is concentrated. And we'll take a look at the absolute gamma chart in just a minute and see that 5,000 is by far the dominant strike. And then, as I mentioned before, the call wall now moved up from 5,000 yesterday to 5,050. So room to run. The call wall is the strike with the largest net positive gamma, and that can be expected to act as resistance. All right, so those are the key daily levels, and there was a hat trick for SPX. Volatility trigger, put wall, and call wall all moved higher. So that is bullish. Traders looking for accepting and positioning themselves for higher prices in the market. That's what that indicates to me. All right, let's wrap up this view of SPX with a 1-minute chart. I'm going to go to 1-minute chart. So this is the last 3 days worth of data. So this is on Wednesday, test of the 5,000 level, which was the call wall at that time, and a reversal lower. Then consolidation yesterday until the end of the day. There was one test of the 5,000 level, price reversed lower, and then right at the end of the day there was a squeeze up, and SPX traded above that level, then reversed lower. Let's see if I have a screenshot of that. So that's in Bookmap yesterday. So this is for yesterday. There's that test of 5,000, and yesterday again that was the call wall. Tested that level, price reverses lower, setting up a short, and then a burst higher of aggressive buyers. Also a stop run shown by the rising yellow line there, up above 5,000, and SPX did end up closing just below 5,000 yesterday. So this is yesterday. Let's go back to today now. SPX gapped up, tested the 5,000 level, and now is headed up toward the 5,050, the new call wall. All right, so here are the levels in play for today. This 5,013 level, some congestion around there, acting as resistance, and now price is breaking out above that level to the next combo level, that 5,023 level, right near the upper weekly and daily expected move. All right, let's go back to Bookmap now. All right, so in Bookmap, I talked about the initial reaction. Well, first of all, let me point out, I have my own cloud notes. So I can show SPX levels on this chart. There's the 5,000 level. Now the absolute gamma strike. Here's that 5,023 level that I mentioned. That's a combo level combining SPX and SPY gamma weighted open interest into one level, converted to an equivalent SPX price, and I have converted it to an equivalent ES price. And there's the 5,013 combo one level. I also have SPY levels on this chart, and the SPY call wall remains at 500. That level, around that level, acted as resistance earlier today, and now S&P 500 is trading above the SPY 500 absolute gamma strike call wall. And then this is the upper daily expected move for ES. All right, again, I have all these levels in one column in my cloud notes. Let me just check on something real quick. So right now, there is a difference in price between ES and SPX. And right now, that difference is about 18 points. So I'm showing the SPX 5,000 level at 5,018. All right, so very bullish day in the S&P 500. Let me check for questions. Thank you, Stephen. Jay Medina asked, what about NQ? That's next. All right, so that's the SPX, ES, S&P 500 levels in play. 5,000 on the downside so far, 5,023 on the upside. All right, let's take a look at Nasdaq now. All right, so shifts in levels. Let me wrap up the S&P 500. Shifts in levels. Again, I mentioned the bullish hat trick for the SPX. Volatility trigger, put wall, and call wall, all shifting higher. And for SPY, the volatility trigger also shifted higher, and the call wall and absolute gamma strike that you can see right here remain at 500. All right, so there's a little bit of a difference in the location of the call wall for SPX versus SPY. All right, let's take a look at Nasdaq now. Nasdaq on fire today, reversing higher right around QQQ 433. So let's take a quick look at the underlying index products for Nasdaq. First of all, here's QQQ. This is a one day chart, 1 minute. And the only there are a couple of actually 3 Spotgamma levels in play, mainly the round numbers. So with the initial move down in the morning, QQQ did not quite make it to 433. 435, a little bit of resistance, then support, consolidation around this C2 level, combo 2 level, and then a move higher up to 437. All right, so those are the QQQ levels in play for today. Let's take a look at NDX, the other underlying index. And there are just a couple of combo levels here. This is combining NDX and QQQ, gamma weighted open interest, into converted to an equivalent NDX price. So these levels did act as resistance, then price broke out above those levels. All right, let's go to NQ now. So again, I have my own cloud notes, so I can show QQQ levels. There's that C4 level, and you can't see it, but there is a white line here showing that other combo level. Then I have the round number levels. Looks like I need to add more. My round number levels stop at 18,000. I need to add more. Then there's the upper weekly and daily expected move for NQ. So here's that level of consolidation, 436 in the middle, and the upper daily expected move, and 18,000 above, and now NQ trading above. And note that I do post all the index relationships that I'm using every day in Discord. I post the preliminary numbers that I'm using before the cash open, and then after the cash open, of course, SPX and NDX do not start trading until 9:30, so I wait maybe 20-30 minutes for those numbers to finalize before I post the final numbers. All right, so there's Nasdaq on fire today. We'll talk about setups in a few minutes, and let me take a quick look at gamma notional to see how market makers were positioned on the gamma curve at the beginning of the day. So what I'm looking at is gamma notional. This is on the data table at the bottom of the Spotgamma AM Founders Note, showing gamma notional for the S&P 500, Nasdaq, Russell 2000. Note for the S&P 500 and Nasdaq, these numbers are positive. They're not extreme. They're not strongly positive, and negative for the Russell 2000. So in a positive gamma environment, what Spotgamma assumes is that traders are short calls, market makers are long calls, hence the positive gamma, and they have to trade against price to hedge their delta exposure. All right, these numbers for the S&P 500 and Nasdaq, while still positive, did shift lower from yesterday. All right, finally, as I mentioned, I want to take a quick look at gamma notional of the absolute gamma for SPX, and then we'll get to some setups. All right, so this is the absolute gamma for SPX, and this is by far the most dominant strike. So the orange bars are showing call gamma or positive gamma, blue bars showing put gamma or negative gamma. So there's the 5,000 level. The of course, again, the most dominant strike. $4,800 down here, the put wall, and then the call wall. There it is, up at 5,050. So it's basically for the call wall, the orange bar minus the blue bar. All right, let's get to some setups now. Excuse me just a second. About to sneeze. Sorry. All right. So everything that we've looked at so far, these levels, other than Bookmap, are based on static data. And now I want to go on to the execution process, and we'll get to the keys of what has been driving price today, the way I see it. So I'm going to take a look at what options traders have been doing today. And I'm going to start with the S&P 500. And what this chart is showing, and I've left this, for those of you who are familiar with HERO, this is the HERO signal, Hedging Impact Real-Time Options. This is provided to Spotgamma subscribers, and what it shows is options trades and market maker hedging activity for a combined signal, in this case for the S&P 500, SPX, SPY, XSP, and ES futures. Let me just quickly, I'm going to look at the total signal, then we'll switch back to the put call broken out. So the white line is showing price for SPX. The purple line is the HERO signal. Again, hedging impact real-time options. It's showing options trades in all those instruments and market maker hedging activity. So, for example, when traders buy calls in SPX, market makers sell the calls and they have to buy ES futures to hedge their delta exposure. That's the only way that they can hedge the SPX. They always want to remain delta neutral. So when they sell calls, they have to buy ES futures to hedge their delta exposure. All right, so a rising purple line indicates traders are taking positive delta positions. So in that case, they're buying calls and or selling puts. All right, let's zoom in on this chart. And I'm going to go back to puts and calls. All right, so what this chart is showing, and we're going to focus on long setup this morning. So I'm going to zoom in. All right, so what this chart is showing, at the open, rising orange line indicates traders were buying calls. And the rising blue line indicates traders were selling puts. The blue line and the orange line rising in the same direction. That's a very strong directional indicator. In this case, bullish. Then right at 9:35, traders stopped selling puts. They started buying puts. Note that price consolidates, moves lower. And then right around 9:54, 9:53, traders start selling puts again, and then around that same time they resume buying calls. So notice again, just before 9:55, blue line and orange line both rising in the same direction. Again, very powerful directional indicator, in this case bullish. And then after round 10 or so, the put line just levels off. And they continue to buy calls. All right, so that's setting up along right here just before 9:55. All right, so let's go take a look at Bookmap. Go back to ES. I'm going to zoom in. All right, so remember, traders start selling puts right around 9:55, 9:53, 54, and they also start buying calls again. So at that time, the orange line and blue line started rising, moving in the same direction. So let's take a look at the clues in Bookmap now. First of all, the volume dots are showing market buy minus sell. Magenta dots indicate more sellers than buyers. Green volume dots indicate more buyers than sellers. So there was a bit of a flush down right here, shown by the magenta volume dots. Also, that move lower was fueled by sell stop orders. That's shown by that small red dot. Note the blue line there showing iceberg orders. That's a buy iceberg order. That's actually 480 contracts, 2 executions. Large traders use iceberg orders to hide their size. Smaller traders getting flushed out, sell stop orders, and large traders with their iceberg orders coming in to buy that move down as traders started taking positive delta positions. Here's the entry point that I was looking at, right around or just above the SPY 499 level. So we know that there was a stop run down, large traders buying with iceberg orders, aggressive buyers start to come in. Then buy stop orders start to fuel the move higher. That's shown by the green dots, small green dots there, as well as the rising yellow line in the subchart. Cumulative volume delta starts to rise. That's the magenta line that changes to dark blue. Magenta indicates the CVD is negative. When it shifts to dark blue, that indicates CVD becomes positive. So pretty choppy price action. After that, if you missed the initial entry, there were multiple long entry points right around VWAP. Show that's this light blue line. Other entry points at these, we'll zoom out now. Oops. There were a couple of pullbacks near this trend line. Deeper pullbacks, good for long entries as all the lines in the subchart continue to rise. Cumulative volume delta, iceberg orders, and buy stop orders. And the primary target for the move in the morning, this cluster of levels here. SPX 5013 and primarily the SPY 500 call wall. Above that is 5015 level, noted as resistance in the Spotgamma AM Founders Note, and the ES upper weekly expected to move with the dashed purple lines. All right, let's go back to Hero. So note the reversal right around 11:15, 11:30. So let's go back to Hero now. Zoom out a bit. So you can see here, really starting around 10:35. Let's go back to Bookmap, look at 10:35. And 10:35 is when price hits the SPY 500 absolute gamma strike. 1035. Options traders shift. They start, at that time, they start selling puts. I'm sorry, they start buying puts. All right, so they were selling puts, stopped, they start buying puts, price reverses lower, call buyers take their foot off the gas, price moves lower. Then right around 11:35, they start selling puts again, resume buying calls, price moves higher. Now both the blue line and the orange line moving in the same direction. All right, sorry about all the arrows. All right, so that options trade again right around noon, little maybe 12:15, something like that, kicked off again, and traders continue to buy calls. All right, so that's the S&P 500, and clearly, to me, options traders definitely driving price action today. All right, let's go back to the total chart. So there's that move lower. Then just after noon, traders start taking positive delta positions again, and now price resumes its move higher. Now up to the next resistance level, 5,023, also the upper daily expected move for ES. And note that was around the high of the day with that initial move about CPI data, the December revision. All right, let's take a look at Nasdaq now. All right, very bullish day in Nasdaq. Let's see what is driving Nasdaq. Let's go back to the hero signal. And for Nasdaq, I typically look at this Mag 7 signal. So what this chart is showing is options trades and market maker hedging activity for a combined signal of the stocks known as the Magnificent 7. Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, Tesla. All right, let's zoom in on this chart. Again, I just have puts and calls separated here so we can see what is driving price. Primarily calls. Traders started buying calls from the open. Took their foot off the gas just a little bit. Price consolidated. Now they're buying calls again. And they have been also selling puts. That's indicated by the positive notional value here. That's delta notional. But call buyers definitely driving price in these Magnificent 7 stocks, which make up a very large component of the Nasdaq 100. All right, let's go take a look at Bookmap. All right, so similar to ES, move up after this CPI data, price moves back down, then at the cash open, just a few minutes later, traders start buying. You can see the shift from, excuse me, sorry about that, shift from aggressive sellers, magenta volume dots, aggressive buyers come in, pretty sharp move up to the upper daily expected move, 18,000, some consolidation there for a couple of hours, and then price starts moving higher again. And as it appears to me primarily driven by call buyers in the Mag 7 stocks. All right, let's take a look at some stocks, and then we'll get to the live market. And Debbie B, thank you. All right, let's go back to Hero. All right, the theme of the day for today is alerts. So let's start with Apple, and we'll go through these pretty quickly. All right, so I have puts and calls separated out again, and what I want to point out is these flow alerts right here. A pretty consistent theme over a wide variety of stocks. So these flow alerts indicate significant options activity and should get your attention. So note in Apple, this came in at 11:05. All right, let's go take a quick look at Apple. In Bookmap, note 190 is the call wall. So Apple had been trending up slightly, 11:05. The alert comes in and Apple blasts off. This is not a large move in terms of compared with Nvidia or Tesla or something like that, but nice move in Apple. Flow alert giving you a signal, and then resistance at the 190 call wall level. All right, let's move on. Next, AMD. Let's go back to Hero. And by the way, this large move in the orange line indicates a number of larger orders. Typically, it's a straight line up, indicating a big block order. All right, AMD. Very similar. Floor this time comes in a little bit before 10:10, right around 10:08. Large block order of calls. Traders had already been selling puts. AMD moves up to the 175 call wall, and traders, call buyers, quickly take their foot off the gas at that level, then start selling calls. Let's take a look at AMD. Go to Bookmap. And 10:08, the alert comes in and price just right after that. So you hear the alert, you buy a call, and wait for it to take your profits at the 175 call wall, which is right there. Note the liquidity in the order book. This is very typical of stocks. This liquidity comes in at the cash open. This is in the case of being above price, those are limit sell orders. So the heat map and Bookmap shows a history of the limit orders in order book. And for stock, this is very typical. These orders come in at the cash open. They typically stay in the book until they're filled. All right, the next stock is Amazon. Go to Amazon. Let's go take a look at Hero. A very similar pattern. Here's the alert at right 10:20. In this case, price is trading above the call wall. Traders aggressively buying calls. They continue to do that, and they're also selling puts. Positive notion of value, and Amazon is moving higher. Let's go take a look at Bookmap. So the alert comes in, and then Amazon blast off as traders buy calls, market makers sell the calls, and they have to buy stock to hedge their delta exposure. Also note that with Amazon above that call wall, Spotgamma assumes that traders are long calls, market makers are short calls, and they have to, as those calls at the call wall go deeper in the money, their delta is getting more negative, and market makers have to continue to buy stock to hedge their delta exposure. So that's what happens when stock is trading above its call wall. All right, the next is Google. Let's go to Google. All right, in this case, the call buying is more gradual. Flow alert comes in before 9:40. Traders continue to buy calls. Price moves above the 147 call wall. Looks like there was some consolidation at that level, acting as resistance. Price breaks above, does one more test, and now continues to move higher. Let's go back to Bookmap. So in the case of Google, that flow alert came in early. Again, see the flow alert, buy a call, and hold it until about noon. All right, the next is Microsoft. And let's go take a look at Hero, see when the alert came in. Gonna have to zoom in a little bit to see this. Again, right around 9:37, 9:38, alert comes in. Traders buying calls. And join them as price moves up to the 420 call wall. In this case, call buyers take their foot off the gas, and price is consolidating right around that level. Let's go back and take a look at Bookmap. $420 call wall. So the alert early 9:37, aggressive call buyers move price up to the 420 call wall. All right, the last one I want to take a look at is NVIDIA. Another bullish day in NVIDIA. Let's go back to Hero. Go to NVIDIA. And here's the flow alert. Right around 9:40. Just a couple of minutes later, traders start aggressively buying calls. They're also selling puts. And in addition, NVIDIA is trading above its call wall. Those calls that market makers are short are delta's becoming more negative. Market makers have to continue to buy stock to hedge their delta exposure. Let's go back to NVIDIA and Bookmap. So So another wildly bullish day in NVIDIA. Again, that alert came in early in the morning, 9:40. All right, does anyone have any other stocks they want me to take a look at? Otherwise, I'll get back to the live market. All right, so all right, Slow to Razi wants to take a look at SMCI. I don't have that in a book map. We can take a look in Hero. And this is as expected. Traders buying calls. They're also selling puts for the days, but for today. But traders are call buyers definitely dominating. In this case, right around 10:15, 10:30, they take the foot off the gas and price consolidates. Very typical pattern. Aggressive call buyers in the morning. Somewhere between, anywhere from 10 to 10:30 to 12 or so, they take the foot off the gas, price consolidates or moves lower. All right, Danny asks, do you trade options based on Spotgamma charts? First of all, the setups that I talk about could be used for buying, in the case of a stock, buying or selling shares of stock, or buying or selling single options or option spreads. So that's up to you. Your risk tolerance, your capital, options are typically more, certainly don't require nearly as much margin as stocks. So there are a couple ways to play SMCI, and for a $700 stock, most likely buying a call would be most efficient for most people. So here's for SMCI, for example, definitely buy a call, and I'm sure they're quite expensive for a high price volatile stock. You can also trade a spread. You could have in the morning bought a call spread, sold a put spread. Another way to play this is to take a what Spotgamma calls a not bullish trade. So when price starts to consolidate, options traders take their foot off the gas, sell a call spread here. So all price has to do is remain below your short strike, and you make full profit on that. All right, for the S&P 500, I typically trade futures. But that's just me. And again, the setups that I talk about, as I mentioned in my introduction every day, can be taken any number of ways. The setups can be taken with futures, shares of SPY, or SPX or SPY options. All right, Jay Medina, I will answer the first part of your question. I've been trading for a long time, day trading for about 4 years. And this is the, I started trading with Bookmap. So I've never really day traded from volume profile or a candlestick chart. I tried and looked at a variety of things and ended up focusing on options trades as the basis for my trades. All right, let's take a look at the S&P 500. And J Medina, yes, I am profitable. All right, S&P 500. Traders continue to buy calls. Take a look at Mag 7. They continue to buy calls as well. Let's go back to Bookmap. S&P 500 breaking now. It just never ends. All right, Jay Medina, my point here is to show others how to trade, how to use Bookmap and Spotgamma to gain an edge in trading, rather than discussing my own personal situation. You know, that can depend on different events of my life, and you know, I've had a lot of things going on in my life. So, you know, my point here is to teach others how to use this data to make their own trades. But yes, I mean, I think it is it's obvious to me that there's quite an edge in looking at Bookmap, order flow on Bookmap, looking at these levels that I post on my chart every day, as well as the hedging flow with Hero. And by the way, showing all those alerts in the Spotgamma Hero signal, that should be very intriguing if you don't already subscribe to Spotgamma. Just having that alert indicate, you know, if you'd bought calls at each of those 6 alerts that I showed, you would have a very good day, week, and probably month. All right, let's take a look at Nasdaq. All right, for Nasdaq, the call wall for QQQ is up at 440. All right, so that's up here. So according to that, there's still room to run higher for Nasdaq. All right, for S&P 500, it is trading above the 500 call wall for SPY, but still below the call wall at 5,050 for SPX. So according to the SPX 550 call wall and the QQQ 440 call wall, both the ES and NQ have room to run higher. All right, any final questions? Any final stocks anybody wants me to take a look at? All right, so the major indexes ES and Q, wrapping up the week, a very bullish day. It's been a great trading week, and next week I think there's some additional data. I think CPI data comes out next week, and also of course next Friday is the options expiration on Friday. That's the monthly options expiration. So we'll talk more about that on Monday. Everyone have a great weekend. And first, ask to learn Bookmap, go to bookmap.com, go to the Learning Center, and that's a great place to get started. You can also join Bookmap Discord. There's a lot of great information there. All you need is if you don't have a Bookmap license, you can sign up for a free version of Bookmap to get started. All right, everyone, have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Bye.